WynActive and Wyndham Community. Hello and welcome to the latest WynActive webcast. It's great to have you join us today. As you know, our aim is to increase the communication about COVID-19, especially as it relates to the Wyndham community, but also to help you and support you to be active while we're all stuck at home. Hopefully along the way you'll be entertained and we'll meet some really interesting people. And speaking of interesting people, welcome Michael Little.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Barry.
Oh, look, it's great to have you on board. So, as normal, we'll start off with a little bit about yourself and what you are. Now, you are an employee of WynActive, is that correct?
That is correct, yes. I have got a couple of roles at WynActive. I'm a fitness coach, personal trainer, group fitness instructor, and also the HR administrator. So, beautiful.
Well, that's a lot of roles. Tell us a little bit about each of them, and especially about the HR compared to the fitness coach, because all the others are sort of, all the fitness ones are similar, but HR and how to get there.
I can talk about my background later, but I suppose I've always had a little bit of a corporate role in my life, and then I guess my fitness roles, and I suppose it balances out sitting in front of a computer versus being able to engage people and help them on their fitness journey. So I get a lot out of that. I've been doing personal training group fitness now for coming up to about 7 years. So I started off with my personal training group fitness, and I love doing all of this at WynActive. So the HR administrator role, my biggest focus is our online learning platform, but helping to upskill our staff, and there's actually sometimes some similarities between helping and engaging people, as well as a big focus for me is on our staff engagement as well, and working in a team that helps to promote the culture, bit of energy in the team, and I think it's a great place to be as well.
Fantastic, and you're definitely the right person for it. So you mentioned your background before.
So I worked previously before WynActive. I worked at ANZ's head office for about 7 years, working in transformational projects, governance, which can have its boring aspects from time to time, as well as workforce management, which is where it probably ties in with my HR administrator role as well. At the same time, I was also working for the YMCA and their privately owned gym, also doing group fitness coaching, and personal training as well. And it was a good balance, corporate work as well as being able to engage people. So I found myself doing a very similar kind of balancing act here at WynActive.
Fantastic. Yeah, good stuff. So part of the focus of what we're trying to do in these webcasts is focus on the positive. And every guest that we get on, we're going to say the same thing. What are you grateful for today? We can focus on the negatives, but what are you grateful for today?
Look, I think I always try and do too many things at once. I've always got multiple things going on, and I'm always trying to do 25 things. So I'm really grateful to kind of try and slow life down a little bit. Actually focus on things at home, bit of quality sort of family balance at home, and not to be maybe rushing around on the weekends like we normally do. So, and it's probably easy to do earlier on, but just enjoying on the weekends to be at home and do family things. I guess we're all healthy, and at this point in time, we have to be thankful for that. We do get to relax in the comfort of our own homes, right? So that's a pretty good thing. We still get to exercise, we put some focus on our fitness and our healthy. And I guess my wife and I are both working at the moment. My son's still in daycare, so we're kind of really grateful for that, because we really appreciate that not everyone's in that same position. So every day that we get to do what we get to do, I appreciate that's a really big thing for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a lot of things to be grateful for there. For me, I'm really grateful for the extra time in the day, because I can exercise more now, and without travelling to and from work, I'm really enjoying getting more exercise in each day, while still spending a lot of time getting to do the work that I'm doing, which is really all about supporting all our staff at WynActive, but also the community through these difficult times. So, that's great, Michael. Good stuff. Now, you spoke a little bit about social isolation, and many people are experiencing this. But how are you coping with it? What mechanisms are you using to get through this time? And we don't know how long it's going to be, but yeah, what have you set up? What are you doing?
Yeah. I suppose when you look at how you cope with things, I suppose just constantly finding the reasons to be positive, right? Because it could be a heck of a lot worse, and I guess I always remind myself that it could be worse, right? And we've recently built a new house, so we've got a whole bunch of unestablished gardens. So at the bottom of my driveway is a massive pile of stones. On the nature strip is a massive pile of soil, and I've basically got about 130 plants to plant. So I'm looking at all the positives. I've got plenty of time to get things done around the house. So for me, I suppose, amongst everything else we're trying to do and keep a bit of a routine at home, having things to do is keeping me engaged. So between working, having weekend activities to be doing, then I don't have any time to just chill out and I suppose get lost. So I'm always finding things to do.
Fantastic. It sounds like you're finding meaningful activities and engaging with that. So I think that is a challenge in itself, is to find something that's meaningful to you and make sure you do it rather than just sit back and do nothing and the old woe is me type thing, which is very easy to do.
Absolutely. I think I'm sure plenty of people are finding this. Part of my challenge probably is not working too much. You know, I think everyone who's actually working now, the thing that I've kind of understood, my wife's the same, is those that are working are probably throwing themselves in. Work's quite busy. So when you're at home and you're working, just continuing to keep that balance and check yourself a little bit can be really easy to just spend a little bit too much time on the work.
Yeah. Oh,
There's no
very good.
From it. So that's definitely something that I've learned over the last couple of weeks.
I think for me too, though, Michael, you're someone that is naturally positive, naturally wanting to help people, wanting to be involved, and I think that helps. It has to help, and full marks to you. And I think one of our roles is to try and support others to do that. So good stuff. So the thing that I wanted to speak to you today about, Michael, is working out from home, but more importantly, how do we stay healthy? What tips have you got for all of us to be able to stay healthy, especially in these difficult times?
Look, I think I've learned a lot just in myself over the last couple of weeks. But I suppose it's acknowledging a little bit that everyone's in a different situation. So I know there's plenty of people that maybe aren't working now and have got lots of time on their hands, but maybe a little anxious in the world, and maybe that's deflecting them from training. There's people that are maybe working half as much as they used to, and then, like myself, maybe working lots more. And then they've got the kids at home. So it's kind of working through and going, actually prioritising that being healthy and being active is really important to deal with everything that's going on in life right now. So, look, I think the biggest thing is having a routine. And I didn't have a routine at the beginning. So I'll be really honest and say, I just thought I had lots of time at home. I just fit it in. And I dropped my son off at daycare, and the study's right at the front door, and I literally just walk in the front door, lock myself down in front of the computer. So I implemented getting up every morning and taking the dog for a walk before 6 o'clock for half an hour before my son gets out of bed, and I made that part of my new routine. And then I started to work through walking in the front door at 8 o'clock after I've dropped him off at daycare, and doing a workout before I would officially start work at 9 o'clock. Otherwise, it was really easy just to constantly be working or finding things to do around the house, because you're at home now. The house gets messier and dirtier because you're at the house. So you could always be doing something else. not prioritising the exercise and the workout as well. So that's probably, I suppose, the routine's the big critical part to work through first. Probably what I'd suggest is working out what you can do from a training perspective. Work out when you're going to do it. Things as simple as getting fresh air is really important. We've had really great sunny days the last few weeks, and I've made sure that things like the windows are open in the house, the blinds are open, and I've got the doors open, and I take my coffees outside. I take my lunch breaks outside. I go and sit in the sun, take the computer outside. And when it's been a little colder, I've had to force myself a little bit more, but I'll grab the dog and I'll take a walk around the block. I will get up. I'll just go outside, walk around the house a little bit more to stay active, because it's really easy as we get into these winter months to kind of sit down on the couch, watch TV, and stay indoors and not be as active. So I think we've got a lot of things that we've got online now for WynActive. We've got lots of online content. So jumping on there and having a look at what we've got is a really great starting point to look at our live classes, our pre-recorded online content, and remembering that they're designed for everyone. And whilst different classes might have maybe a different level, within each class, even if you haven't done one before, you can always give it a go. You can always stop if it's a little hard for you. The idea is you're moving, and every instructor and every fitness coach will give you options. You just pick the option that's best suited for you, and then over the weeks you might be able to try the next option, and build yourself up. I don't know. I think I've seen lots of Facebook photos and videos in the news. It seems that everyone in the world's now becoming more active because they've got time on their hands and they're using the opportunity to get outside and go for a walk. So that's definitely, I suppose, a lot of incentive to get outside and enjoy the time off that we've got, if we've got some extra time off. But yeah, definitely involving the family if you've got kids. Taking them for a walk the dog. The dogs are never going to be happier now. And getting the bikes out as well, either going for a run. And I suppose that's a lot of the attributes of what you can be doing. It's, I suppose, looking at now how you build a routine in for yourself as well. So I guess important things to do as part of your routine would be looking at what you do when you get up. Drinking water in the morning, having breakfast at a certain time, fitting your meal times in consistently every day. It's easy to snack if you haven't got a meal time. Think about what you'd normally do when you're at work. What type of food would you eat at work? What type of movements would you have at work? You probably wouldn't sit at your desk for the entire day. You'd have a lunch break. You'd go and talk to Tom down the hallway about something. So walk around the house, get on the phone, keep active as well, keep socially active with colleagues from work, with your friends. Schedule those times in as well. Make sure every morning you're talking with people outside your the confines of your own house. But I think scheduling that specific time each day for exercise is really, really important. And I've learned from myself that if you don't schedule it, whether it's your partner, your housemate, or whoever you're self-isolating with, do it with them. There's a little bit more accountability if you say you're going to do something every morning at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning. Get your heart rate up and get your metabolism going earlier in the day. I think you'll find you'll have more energy to do things around the house if you're doing things a little earlier in the day.
Yep.
And I think that's a great thing. I know from my experience in the last few weeks that I've got more energy during the day when I've got up and taken the dog for a walk. Yesterday morning, my son got up just as I was about to take the dog for a walk, and it stopped it and tied up. So I didn't get that start today. Whereas today, I got up, walked the dog, snuck out, and felt much better for it. So I think that's a really big thing for everyone. Vitamin D, sunlight, fresh air is really important. How about you, Barry? What have you been doing besides your exercise?
Oh, look, I think I would agree with you in what you're saying, and to summarise your points, that's around building a routine. certainly getting up early, and I like to sit quietly in the mornings and read the paper and have a nice coffee or two or three as well, and then make sure I'm either exercising just before I start work or just after. And I agree. So that's the second thing is prioritising tasks. I make sure that I'm not in my pajamas or just tracky dacks when I sit down to do work. I'm actually dressed, not probably as well as I normally do for work, but I am dressed and dressed well to do work. So yeah, look, I would agree with what you're saying. Get a routine, prioritise your tasks whenever you can. I'll just open the front door, walk out the 10 metres to the end of the driveway and enjoy the sunshine for 30 seconds and walk back. So it's that sort of thing. I totally agree with you, and they're all really good tips. Thanks, Michael. Michael, thank you very much for joining me today. You've given us some great words of wisdom. And can I ask, would you be happy to come back and chat to us at a later date?
I sure would, Barry. Thank you very much for having me today.
Oh, look, absolute pleasure. And everyone that's watching, look, we're hoping to have a really special guest tomorrow. Stay tuned and just organising it now, but it'll be very informative if I can get this person on. No matter what happens, I'll have someone who's really interesting to chat to. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning into the WynActive Webcasts, and we'll see you very soon.
Thanks, guys.